The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
Folks, it's time to go back out into the retail setting. But today we're seeing something that proves that people aren't buying these toys even at the discount prices. So stay tuned to that, because today's video has got some memorable moments in it. But folks, before we start today's video, it's brought to you by my graphic novel, Stealing Solo. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. So we start today's journey off at an Ollie's, but not the only Ollie's you'll see today. But the common denominator across all of these Ollie's is the massive mountain of Marvel merchandise that just doesn't move. But I guess to be fair, we should extend that to other Hasbro brands as well, like G.I. Joe and Star Wars, and we're going to see a lot of Star Wars. But speaking of a lot, look at all of this Marvel and Fortnite and all of this just wonderful Hasbro unsellable merchandise. And as you can see here, we have that Wakanda Forever Black Panther spear and action figure set, and they have dozens of those. They have regular Black Panther, they have the girlfriend, they have Everett Ross, they got them all. Sky and Ollie, sold at Ollie's, convenient. Now here's the Star Wars line that will never sell, Mission Fleet, and we also have this weird color on and play t-shirt. Now, Star Wars has been merchandised to hell in the past, so I'm not going to act like this is a new pandemic for Star Wars merchandise, but what do you expect here? We have the Trapper Wolf helmet. It's still here. People were going nuts for that originally online, and now they just don't give a shit. And the Star Wars merchandise would be an epidemic, not a pandemic. Lived through both. Not fun. One of Hasbro's other lines is equally well represented here, G.I. Joe, and we'll check out that in just a moment after we look at this Fantastic Four wall. We have Bullseye, we have Fantastic Four, we have Lando, and we have a Hiss tank. I keep wanting to pick one of these up because they're kind of cool. I mean, 3 3/4 inch action figures were my jam back in the day, and the more vehicles the better. But I just don't collect G.I. Joe. Do you collect G.I. Joe? Let me know in the comments below. What I used to be was a Star Wars collector, and then this action figure came on the scene and kind of ruined the game for everyone else. Just like how Space Jam 2 ruined a childhood for millions and millions of people. But the toy line can't sell to save its life. Now here's the box of old men. We have Chewbacca, he's old as hell. We have Princess Leia, well, she's not an old man. I guess we should rename this, because there's Tarkin, and Han Solo. So 3 old men and a lady. If Leonard Nimoy was alive, he would direct the film. Here's another box of Tarkin, Leia, Chewie. Sounds like a law firm, which I don't think they should represent anybody after what was done to them. I think it's time for them to take a nice vacation, permanent one. These Star Wars archive figures are everywhere. Star Wars is starting to really creep up at Ollie's and show up in mass amounts. Droves, if you will. There's our friend Zori Bliss. We have some Mandalorian figures, and good old Princess Leia is stuck next to Shang-Chi. Now here's a whole box of Hugh Grant action figures. And Dungeons & Dragons dropped earlier this year, so it's a new lap record for how quick it's on clearance and still not selling. After the fun time I had on the Articulated Chad channel, I've been paying more attention to the G.I. Joe figures, and they're everywhere. Now, I grew up a Power Ranger kid, and I don't know what this is. It's past my era of Power Rangers, but here it is at Ollie's. Spidey and Groot Outer Space 2-pack. Man, I thought Marvel was a... Marvel's just everywhere. Spider-Man's a ground-level superhero, but now he's going to outer space. Yeah, that's cool. You gotta have an imagination. I like to imagine that all these Marvel toys will find a good home and people will actually play with them. Don't crush my dreams. They're just dreams. Let me have them. There's just so many different Marvel lines to collect, and, well, according to Ollie's, nobody's collecting any of them. Our good old pal, the Shuricopter. Gotta love it. There's a lot of them, too. Folks, that's the main reason I haven't opened the P.O. box yet. I'm afraid people are going to send me Shuricopters by the dozens. I have 65 Rose Tico figures. I do not need one Shuricopter. But we're always grateful for whatever you guys send. Be on the lookout for our next toy video where I'll have the P.O. box announcement in that one. Now, I did buy this Boba Fett at another time. I'm waiting to put it together. Who knows, it could be a fun Patreon video. Be on the lookout for that around the holiday season. We'll crack open some toys and give thanks and all that other fun stuff. Here's our wall of Marvel Legends, and it doesn't really shrink. We've been filming this wall for the last 5 months, and there's a few open slots here. People are finally picking up a few figures. They're not really getting America Chavez. You got a Groot to hide the entire case of America Chavez. You can't hide the fact that there are cases of Eternals still on shelves 2 years later. And we have Age of Apocalypse, and Wong, and more Eternals, and more Doctor Strange figures, and more Wongs, and you name it. And up here, that Black Panther section really hasn't shrunk too much. Maybe about 8 action figures have sold off of this thing. Now we have some coffee up here, we have a Ghostbusters, Doodad, but it's mostly full of those Black Panther figures. Either people... Oh, there's a full thing of America Chavez. Whew. She's perfect for your civilian figures, but people just don't care. What do we got up here? Marvel Legends from Wakanda Forever, more Fortnite, more Deadeye Chewie. It's like the same stuff at every store. And there's Vice Admiral Holdo. Ooh. This is the worst merchandise lineup in the history of ever. I feel sorry for the kids who get mostly Ollie's Hasbro toys this holiday season. It's better than a rock, but that's not saying too much, Charlie Brown. Now here's the other action figure aisle proper, full of Last Jedi action figures, Mandalorian spillovers, and a whole lot more. Of course, the perennial favorite Shang-Chi is here, and more Eternals, and more Avengers, and more Doctor Strange. We even got our pal Rey and Finn from the Disney Infinity figures. Pay attention to those Captain Marvel finger skateboards. We're going to find those at regular retail. I bet you they'll be pennied out very, very soon. And these things are just a lost cause, so let's move on. I can't abide by theft in a store, even if it's for a Marvel Legend. It's kind of embarrassing to steal that toy. Now, on the way out, I caught the wall of Ironheart masks. I forgot to check these out at the very beginning. I'm not too worried, but I just wanted to show you that these things are still here next to this Thor hammer. People are looking at these things and passing them, and that's kind of how mainline people did it as well. So that's how it goes. This is another discount store. I just wanted to show you that Thor Love and Thunder is a part of every discount retail outlet's toy line. We love leftovers. Except Marvel leftovers. Now, I don't know what the hell happened to this Thor down here. It looks like he's seen better days, but thank you for your service, Thor. This weird-shaped Boba Fett thing, we've talked about this one before, but I never saw it at regular retail, just here. On the way out, I caught some more Thor Love and Thunder merchandise. This time we have Thor, Groot, and Star-Lord. Talk about glorified cameos. You thought they were going to be bigger parts of the film, and then you watched it, and the movie sucked, and well, it was better than, it wasn't better than the Marvels, I'm not even going to lie. But $18 is kind of pricey for these 3 figures. I wouldn't pay that. Neither will you. That's why they're here on clearance. Here's our second Ollies of the day, where we see our good old friend, the Black Panther, clogging up shelves. There's also those Dungeons & Dragons toys. Check out Retro Blasting's video to talk about those, that toy line right there. It's a great video, even if it's not a great toy line. Here's a whole pallet of Hasbro figures just unopened. Just a whole damn pallet just sitting here in the middle of the store aisle. Hasbro overproduces everything. And I can see a lot of America Chavez and Eternal figures, so you know those are overproduced as well. As well as Grand Moff Tarkin and... Holdo. You know, you see so few Baron Zemo, it's almost refreshing. You know, he's a purple-masked guy next to a purple-haired weirdo. Maybe it's a match made in heaven. I don't know, folks. What do you think of Baron Zemo and Vice Admiral Holdo? Would they work? Let's take a look at the top here. You just get an idea of the amount of these things. I wonder how Hasbro feels when they see one of these videos. Do they care? They've made their money. They're just like, on to the next one. But they gotta... The executives at Hasbro have to care. Because after a while, you know, your brand sits here at retail outlet clearance, and people just associate you with cheap toys, and then they won't pay the full price in retail outlets. Or big box stores. Anywhere these toys are sold, people are going to wait for it to go to Ollie's. I've seen a lot of people online post, oh, this new toy's coming out. I'll just wait till it hits Ollie's. See, Hasbro, you guys have put yourself in this position. Well, I'm sure Marvel and Star Wars hasn't helped, especially with the licensing deals and the amount that you have to produce, and all of the requirements to retain those licensing agreements that are exorbitantly high these days. We'll get the words out. What do we got up here? Ah, Grogu. Let's put him over here. What do we got here? The Doctor Strange disc launcher. Okay. And more Age of Apocalypse from X-Men. Or was that Age of Apocalypse? That might have just been regular X-Men. A power leaf blower. What a great toy. This is their toy aisle proper. You can see the usual suspects of Lightyear, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Eternals figures, Deadeye Chewie. Again, all the Ollies are stuck with these things. We're in the Christmas holiday shopping season. I hope these things move for their sake, or they're just gonna send them out to be destroyed. If they ever pennied them out, like for literal pennies, I think I'd take all of these things for a penny each. I don't know what I'd do with them, but it'd be a funny joke to have stacks and stacks of these things that I paid a penny for them. I don't think I'd pay a penny for these Last Jedi figures, though. I have a limit. If you're a Nerf player, though, or a Nerf enthusiast, it's perfect to pick up these darts on clearance. Now here we are at our first target for the day, too, and you'll see Lando, who can't sell to save his life. Lando's been on shelves forever. We also have Reva. No joke needed. With the new news of Disney Plus series hurting Marvel in the long run, making merchandise based on these Disney Plus series seems kind of silly, but that's why you'll see rows of Agatha Harkness, Kingpin, and Nick Fury. And that's not the only place you'll see them clogging the shelves. Now, this is from the new Aquaman film. Stay tuned, we have a few more of those action figures to show you. But this is Aquaman in his stealth suit, and he has his stealth octopus. Stealth-topus. Yeah, that was terrible. So Walmart tells a very interesting story. There's the Marvel's figures. This is the second week of release for the movie, and Miss Marvel's chilling on shelves. But what's really important is that this Miss Marvel action figure has been here for about a year, or at least 11 months. And she's the other suit from the Disney Plus series, but she wears that costume in the movie, and people aren't buying that action figure. That specific one has sat here, like Holdo at GameStop all those years ago. Every time I go in, it's covered by something, but it's still there. Now this Star Wars section is a little beefier, but if you notice, it's mostly Mandalorian and lightsabers, and that goes to show you what's actually popular. We have Ahsoka stuff, and those damn Mission Fleet toys. Prepare to see those at Ollie's soon. Hell, you can even find these Obi-Wan figures there already. So we got, from Ahsoka, we got the one decent new character, Grand Admiral Thrawn from Rebels. We have that lady and Ahsoka herself. Those look legit. I gotta give them credit. The quality of these 3 3/4 inch action figures have reached new levels of quality. They're quite impressive. If I collected, I'd be very happy. But I've given up on that. Speaking of giving up, it looks like Disney's given up on the sequel trilogy. I don't see a single thing represented here. And why would you put that out there? Why would you put the money into it? Now, this is Chris Jericho, but I don't know who this action figure is supposed to be. Chris Jericho? Chubby old white guy. Let's just move on. I'm always happy to see Hulk Hogan on store shelves. He's the biggest of all time for a reason. Hulkamania's still running wild, brother. Now this is just the video game wall, which is kind of cool. As a kid, I'd have killed for this. And here we have a Link figure from Legend of Zelda. With the new Zelda movie announcement, do you think Link's going to wear his traditional hat, or do you think he's going to go dressed something like this? My guess is they're going to go having Link dressed like that, and because the hat would look weird in live action. Now we have Sonic, Link, and Mario, the 3 biggest game characters of all time. Can't believe Pokemon's still a thing. I'm a first wave Pokemon kid, and well, I got out of that rather quickly. Let's get out of here ourselves. Now here's a whole peg of Jon Stewart Green Lantern action figures. These are the McFarlane Superpowers collection, the retro style figures. And as you can see, there's a whole peg. And as we go up, you can see there's a whole other peg. And finally, if we go up one more row, it's a whole nother peg. Let's get this Bakugan out of here. And Green Lantern is just everywhere. It's a fine looking figure. He's a good character. I'm surprised he's not moving. Then again, he's not Batman. And there's even another one over here. Who else we got? We got Deadshot, or Deathstroke, we got Wonder Woman, we got the Man Who Laughs Joker. I haven't read that series yet. I need to catch up. There was a whole Star Wars display, which is rare. I haven't seen a full Star Wars display in quite some time. We have Big Head Baby Darth Vader. We have a Nerf Mandalorian pistol, which is kind of cool. The mask. Like I said, the Mandalorian's a fine character. Apparently kids like him enough that they're making more merchandise. And it's a lot of cosplay stuff. I guess that's the future of toys, or the present of toys. People want to dress up and be the part. I was happy with action figures, but yeah, cosplay's cool. I love the used Starbucks that is sold under the Star Wars label as well. What would you pay for those germs? Me? Nothing. So glad they're getting rid of these blind box action figures. We're supposed to see what we're getting in the package. I know it's not really a blind box properly, but you go in blind buying these things and they don't turn out to be what you expect. Now, these Lego sets have been here for a while, and let's move on to this Aquaman display. As you can see, it's not really branded yet, it's just blank cardboard, so if you walk up to it, it's just this. But let's take a look at our first Aquaman 3 3/4 inch figure. It looks like Jason Momoa. That's fine. I think this is the new trend in toys because they're cheaper to produce. We have his brother, played by Patrick Wilson. And here's the rest of the line on the... Wait, they have an Amber Heard figure? Oh, I can't wait to find one of those. And here she is, the bed shitter herself. There's the Amber Heard Mira figure. I'm looking for skid marks. I don't see any, but it kind of looks like her. I wonder if people are going to buy those. She's probably one of the most disliked actresses on the planet. And here's our Momoa, the bigger figure. I should refer to him as Aquaman since he's the character Aquaman. But this box is a really weird, crappy quality cardboard. I know you don't buy toys for the boxes, at least kids don't, but that looks like it's going to melt. Now here's our last Aquaman set to look here. We have Black Manta and Aquaman and this submarine thing. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's not for me, but if you're a Black Manta fan, you can't go wrong with the toy. And so, of course, we're not going to cover Disney's Wish because we don't talk about female-focused toys. Not our expertise. Here's the Disney section at another Target, and as you can see here, we have Reva to start out. Now, Reva's not alone. We have something from the Book of Boba Fett, like some Tusken Raiders, a Return of the Jedi Han Solo, and another Tusken Raider behind her, but there's Reva still. Now this was weird. A holiday snow trooper that looks like a snowman. Press 1 in the chat if you'd buy that. We got Ahsoka representing, we got this expensive Millennium Falcon set. It was on clearance not that long ago, so they repackaged it, and now you can pay full price again. Now, we've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen home improvement toys. That's kind of cool. I used to love that show as a kid. Still love James Bond, even though You Only Live Twice is not my favorite. But check this out. We were talking about those Captain Marvel skateboards. There was one. There's a whole peg of them. So good luck selling those Target. They're very, very, very deep. And then there's also more down here. Not a whole peg of them, but quite a few. And one back there as well. Now, the $150 Captain Carter shield. What if? What if I gave a shit enough to buy this toy? And that's a full-scale cosplay item. I got a full-scale cosplay item of the Captain America shield at Ollie's for $29.99. Maybe $39.99. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I didn't pay full retail price. So why would I pay full retail price for a What If Captain Carter? You can find the Captain Carter figure at Ollie's. We already saw her in the last store footage. But, yeah. Tell me if you'd pay full price. The Moon Knight figures are stacking up quite nicely. These are Target exclusives, I believe. I know the Spider-Man figure is, and he's gone. But Moon Knight's cool. I don't really have anything to say. I have the Walgreens version. Let's put him back. But there's the Cat Lady and the Kingpin. That sounds like a really terrible novel. Kingpin and the Cat Lady. There's also Nick Fury from Secret Invasion. What a boring-ass action figure. I'll pass. Surprised that's not at Ollie's. There's another Aquaman set. This time we got Aquaman, Black Manta, some dude in a diving suit. I don't know who that dude in a diving suit is. Can't be that important. And there's a Hammerhead guy. That's pretty neat looking. But what's not cool, well, it's only a Target, but what's not cool is this. Somebody stole the Black Manta figure out of the set. Every other one had him, but we're seeing a trend in theft right now in these videos. I don't like it. See what I mean about this new scale of action figure? This comes from Hasbro. This is a different company. The other one comes from Spin Masters. But we're back to small 4-inch action figures. And now they have vehicles and play sets again, so I guess that's the new trend. I guess the 6-inch scale is on its way out, or at least for, mainline retail. Because look, there's even the Flash and Blue Beetle. Now, we're getting close to our final ollies, but this other retail discount store had tons of Star Wars stuff. We have the Galaxy's Edge Outpost. Lightsaber's so exciting, I can barely get through it. We also have some Lightyear stuff. Simply put, the Disney section has reached the cheapest stores in America. Folks, if you're playing along at home, you're going to see a lot of Disney merchandise. Please don't try to count it because you don't have enough fingers, toes, or numbers that go that high. I moved back west about 6 months ago, and these Last Jedi figures have not moved. Not once. They still have Snoke on the shelves. Great. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is well represented here. Remember, that movie came out in May. It's November, and here we are. We still got some Avengers, Endgame figures rocking it on the store shelves. And there's Wonder Man, and Black Adam, and all kinds of things that just didn't sell. Speaking of didn't sell, this summer's The Flash is here. This isn't Target, though. That box is a lie. Makes me wonder how long it's going to take to get those Aquaman figures in here. But you can see what happens. They get it after Target. I was at the half-price bookstore, and I noticed Rey here. Funko Pops are now $5.39 out of the box. And we have Rey, and we have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know a correlation, but I thought she was a weird one to make. There's also a BB-8 Funko Pop, but it's just a ball, so what's the difference between a BB-8 Funko Pop and just a BB-8 toy? Star Wars is nicely represented here at the local mall, but there's just one problem. Let's take a look at it. The price. $45 for a single Boba Fett action figure. What a ripoff. Now this thing's on clearance for $22.38, and that's still a stretch because it's a 3 3/4 inch figure with a couple plastic accessories. Black Series, the 6-inch line, isn't much more expensive, if more expensive at all. If you go to Ollie's, it's half that price. I think they're going a little nuts with the Star Wars brand and the pricing. I mean, look at this on sale for $89.77. Yes, it's Bastilla Sean, but it's still $90. Here's our final ollies. Now we're just going to take a quick look through this one. This one isn't supplying anything too crazy. Our usual Marvel that won't sell, our G.I. Joe, our cosplay or role-playing items is the proper term that they use at retail. But this Ollie's has something that no other Ollie's has. It has proof that people don't even touch this stuff. It just sits on the shelves, and the store doesn't touch it, customers don't touch it, nobody touches it. Now, we're in the holiday shopping season, folks. Now, it's going to get crazier towards Black Friday, so check out our videos during the holidays and after the holidays to see how much of this stuff actually moves. But as you can see here, this Ollie's is still packed with Star Wars. It's like no one was ever even here. Now, I don't recall seeing many Dengars here, but Dengar's kind of cool. You can relive your scene from The Empire Strikes Back. Dengar's more desirable than Jyn Erso and Vice Admiral Holdo and Jyn Erso and Zori Bliss and more Vice Admiral Holdos. Let's just get out of here. Ah, the Shurikopter. You'll never find a more useless toy of plastic and bullshit. Now here's the last toy aisle we're going to look at today. Again, tons of Marvel, tons of the usual suspects, Star Wars, Last Jedi, Solo a Star Wars story, that Eternals thing that just won't move. But As you can see here, we have a ton of Black Panther stuff. That random mission series or whatever it's called. And we have an empty card back that we showed last time. And just like last time, that same figure is sitting here on the ground. So no one has touched that figure in weeks. And the store doesn't care to pick it up or fix it. It just goes to show you how worthless Black Panther is. It sounds mean, but am I wrong? You know I'm not. So folks, thank you for joining us today for another wonderful toy video. I'm getting ready to head out on the road to do a road trip, going out of state, out of town, all over to hit up some new stores. So be on the lookout for that video next Saturday. I know it's Thanksgiving and you're going to be busy with your families, but it's a Saturday and you love the WCBS toy videos. So while you're home for the holidays, I wanted to give you guys something a little extra because, well, WCBS is thankful for all of you. So folks, thank you for watching. We'll be back next time with more. Before you go to stealingsolo.com right now and get the graphic novel that fans are calling Laugh Out Loud Funny and the best Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. It's about a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans who kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement. I ship out books all the time, so you can get your copy today and have a guaranteed delivery well before the holiday season. Speaking of holidays, folks, I'm running a holiday special. If you go to stealingsolo.com right now, you'll see that the website's been updated. We're offering the Fandom Menace edition of the graphic novel. What's the difference? A lot. It features the same wonderful story and backup stories, but it features bonus content that includes looks at covers, profiles on the creators, and a whole lot more. And now I'm running a special on that because you can get 4 books. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 full graphic novels for the price of 2. So for $40, you get 4 graphic novels. So if you love Stealing Solo and you want to spread the word, but you want to hold on to that original edition for yourself because it's the better one, the more valuable one, the rarer one, well then, get that and give the gift of Stealing Solo to friends, to families. It's a great gift for comic book fans, Star Wars fans, nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call them, and you can't get it in stores. You can only find it at stealingsolo.com. So folks, go to the website. It's powered by Shopify, so you get their award-winning safety and security, and get yourself a copy of the book, or get yourself the set of the Fandom Menace edition. But that's all I got for today. So folks, thank you for watching. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.